Hey guys, welcome back and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to talk again about meditation. This is going to be kind of cross-linked between videos I've recently made about mental health and how ways of helping your mental health, but this is also going to be ways of just helping yourself in everyday life. And this video is going to be about keeping that stillness and keeping that inner peace for the rest of your day. So have you ever been to, say, a Reiki practitioner, Reiki master? Have you ever been to a meditation class? Have you ever been to do some mindfulness work or some breath work? And during the session, you find that wonderful feeling of peace. And it may last with you for the rest of the day. But then something happens and it takes you back into that place, back into that, maybe that frenzy of the mind. It may create some emotion, it may create some anger. So today we're going to talk about that and talk about ways of how you can bring that beautiful place of inner peace back into everyday life, so you won't be as upset, you won't be as affected by all the other things that might go on in life. And some of these answers might be what you expect, but they also might not, so stick around and check out what we've got to talk about today. But what's the importance of holding on to this inner peace? So when we pay money or we go to an event, maybe it might be a free event which is being put on, but sometimes we tend to pay some money. So we want to get something back from it. And usually in that day, whatever you've been to, whether it's the Reiki session, the meditation, the group meditation, some sort of healing session, you always feel really, really good afterwards. You might feel lighter, you might just not have that busyness of mind, and all your frustrations and all your anger's just gone, and you're just in a wonderful, wonderful, peaceful place. And that wonderful, peaceful place is a great, great healing place to be. Your physiology changes, your breathing changes, your mind changes. So it has an overall healing effect on your mind, body, and energy. When we come away from that and we start to get affected by the day-to-day things of stress and worry and anger and all that sort of stuff that does crop up, I'm not saying it doesn't, but it does crop up. But there are ways and means around it. But we need to find that value of what we're taking away from those sessions. And something I often say to my clients when they're receiving meditation, when they're receiving a Reiki session or a hypnosis session, whatever it might be, is to just bear in mind that peaceful place that you've found today is something you need to sort of gear towards each and every day. And granted, it's not going to always happen, but it's about building up a practice. And a lot of my videos recently have said about this, and I've talked about this quite a lot, but it's called a meditation or a healing practice for a purpose, because we're practicing something. And it's very much the same as when you're practicing playing guitar or learning an instrument or going to the gym or going to the PT or whatever. You're building up a routine, you're building up a practice. And meditation is no different. It's exactly the same process. It's just about focusing on that energy, that inner stillness, and just bringing more of it into each and every day. The way I did that back in the early days when I first started off meditating, it was basically just building up a healthy practice of, I was struggling with anxiety a lot. So for me, it was only a few minutes, and those few minutes became 5 minutes, and those 5 minutes over the course of weeks and months, it became longer, it became more effective, and I took more away from it each time. And that's the key to it, is the more you stick with it, the more you will gain from it each time. So if you go to a Reiki session or you go to a meditation session and you find that wonderful place of inner peace in the half an hour or the hour or whatever it might be, and then you think, right, that's it now for another week, that's kind of like the wrong mindset to have. And we need to try and this is something that I personally worked on. It was because I'd found that level of inner peace, and just for a few minutes each time, I just wanted more of it. I wanted more of that into each day, and it's about instilling that little piece of something into each day. And the more you do it, the more you get from it. And that's why I mean it's exactly the same as going to the gym. The more you go, the more you work that muscle, the more you work your body, the more your body is able to do. And it's exactly the same process as just being at peace with your thoughts, with your body, with your mind, and just allowing things to just go. And I think a lot of the block that comes from it is that people think that, oh, it's not doing anything. You know, the meditation isn't doing anything, the Reiki isn't doing anything. I just feel very peaceful. But there is so much more going on behind that, in that peace. There is so much more going on. Subconsciously, psychologically, consciously, physiologically, energetically, spiritually. There's a lot more going on that we're not fully aware of. And I think because of that, because we're not consciously and we can't point to something, we think it's something else and it can't be tangible because of us being in this 3D reality. It can be quite tricky to try and just switch our brains around to a more subjective rather than objective reality, and being engaged with the feeling of what we get from it and wanting to harness that feeling and carry on. So one of the best ways that I found, and this may sound a little bit obvious, and I've already covered this in other videos before, but one of the best techniques that I've found is just show up for yourself every single day. Every single day, if you can give yourself 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you don't have to meditate for hours on end. That's not really, it gets to a point. I mean, I used to enjoy building up and I got to about an hour, maybe a little bit more, where I meditated for long periods of time. For me now, personally, 15 to 20 minutes each day is enough, and then I'll maybe do some Reiki and things like that on myself. But yeah, you don't have to have huge chunks of your day. It's just about breaking it down into small portions. And showing up for yourself each day will bring great reward in the long run. And it's one of them things that it will take time, and the more acceptance we have with that, the more acceptance to say that, okay, it's going to take time, I'm going to commit. Maybe set yourself a goal of this month. So we're coming up, it's the 31st of May. So from the 1st of June, for the whole of June, every single day, you're going to show up for yourself and you're going to commit to a time in that day where you're going to focus on meditation and just building your meditation practice up. And at the end of that month, just see how you feel. You will feel a lot calmer. And it will also feel easier, because the more you do it, it will feel easier to bring that into each and every day. Because as you develop and as you gain more momentum within your meditation practice, what will happen is you'll be more skilled at being able to deal with life's issues, life's problems, the stress, the worry, the anxiety. It builds up over a period of time. And I mean, for me personally, it wasn't after a month of meditation, because I was in such a heavy place. It took a lot longer than that. It took probably about 6 months before I started feeling the real benefit. So, but just that 1 month, if you can commit to 1 month and just see how you feel at the end of the month, and there will be a change. I can guarantee that there will be a change if you dedicate yourself to that little bit of time. But you just need to find as well that perfect time for you in the day. There is no right or wrong time for most people. A lot of people like to meditate at night time, and it helps them go to bed, it helps them go to sleep. But also, if you fall asleep before you finish your meditation, then you've kind of lost that little bit of momentum. So I would try to do it maybe a little bit before you go to bed. Because the other thing that can happen as well is when you meditate, it actually raises your vibration slightly. So you might feel like a sudden surge of energy or an uplift of energy. So you might feel a little bit more awake. Best time for me, what I like, is early in the morning. First thing in the morning, I will do my usual thing where I will go out, I'll walk the dogs, I'll go into the park. You've probably seen some of the videos on here on the shorts. Go into the park, I'll just be in the air, rain, sun, whatever it's doing, and just enjoy that time. And then I'll come home and give myself that 15-20 minutes on the morning to just do a bit of a meditation. So building it up over time and creating that practice has a really, really powerful effect. There's also other things you can do just in everyday life as well to bring back that meditation practice into your day. And it doesn't have to be a case of sitting and actively doing, right, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to meditate now. It's actually just being conscious of everything, of bringing yourself into the present moment, into the now. And you might think, well, what is the now? Where is the now? And the now is it's all that ever is. There is no past, there is no future, it's just now. And the more we focus on being in the now, then the future and the past become less relevant. Time becomes less relevant, because the most important part of the day is here. And you can gain great intuition, wisdom, peace, learning, and just satisfaction of being in the now, because everything that we do every single day is now. So if we think about things like doing the dishes, walking the dogs, hoovering, ironing, all just your normal stuff that you do every single day or a couple of times a week or whatever, bring more of a mindfulness practice into that. So when you are ironing those clothes, listen to the sound of the iron going over the clothes and just that gentle shh as it goes over the clothes. The gentle ruffle and the movement of the material. What does the material feel like? What does it smell like? Is it nice fresh odor coming off the clothing? And really immerse yourself into the experience. And you can really, everything in life, when you're eating food, when you're washing the dishes, when you're out on a walk, when you're just doing things at work. If you're at work, what might normally be a stressful environment, just bring yourself into the body, bring yourself into the breath, bring yourself into the moment, and the more we come into that moment and actually come into ourselves, and just focus on the breathing, and actually it will almost enhance your senses, so you'll be very, very aware of your thoughts, and you'll, after a while, when you become more seasoned with meditation, you realize a lot of the thoughts and a lot of stuff that we actually worry about in life is totally pointless and irrelevant, and the thoughts that we have is just stupid. It's just daft. It's just the way the mind likes to work. It likes to bring things up to try and distract us and bring us away from a nice peaceful place, because that's what the mind likes to try and do. It likes to try and push us into corners, because the more we experience peace, the less the mind then has control, and you become a lot more powerful with that. And that, as with everything to do with energy, it transcends and it moves out and it affects all those people around you. It gives them a sense of peace. I mean, I've worked with people over the years that have also suffered with mental health problems and anxiety and depression, and I find now, just by talking to them and speaking to them in a very balanced, grounded, non-judgmental way, and just being open and giving them open answers and open things to just like switch a light on inside, and that you can just see the consciousness switches on inside, and you're like, and it gives them something to think about. It gives them another area of a way of looking at things in life. So it really helps to do that, and you can do that too. As you develop and become stronger, become better, just become in a more harmonious place of being through developing your meditation practice, you can bring that into every single day. And for those people that are around you that may be going through something, and you can give a little bit of guidance and a little bit of help. So how have I used meditation in my life, and how have I used it in my everyday practice? Like I said earlier, I like to meditate if I can every single day and give myself that 15-20 minutes, and it's just about being disciplined. I've recently joined with a PT, so I've been doing some PT work, and I'm keeping myself disciplined to go to the PT session once a week and then do a group session once a week as well. So I'm working out quite rigorously twice a week, and I'm feeling real benefits from that. But that's also about discipline. It's also about me showing up and doing that, and putting the work in, putting the effort in, and feeling and seeing the results. And meditation, again, is exactly the same. And it's given me great clarity of mind. It's given me great focus. It also opens me up spiritually a lot more. It opens me into my intuition. I have a greater connection to my higher self. I have a lot of downloads of wisdom from my guides, from my intuition, from my higher self, from source energy. I have maybe heightened sense of empathic ability on some level as well. So it really helps to just open you up, and it softens your energy, and it opens your heart chakra, and it allows you to just become more aware in life. And that's a really powerful place to be, just to have a level of awareness, because many people just haven't got a clue really what is going on and what's actually affecting them. So meditation obviously helps with the third eye as well. That's how it helps you see things and perceive the world in a different way. And that's how it's helped me in every single day. But it's also obviously helped with my mental health. It helps to keep me grounded. It helps to keep me anchored. Helps to keep me safe. Helps to keep me balanced in a nice harmonious place. So then I can be of service to make videos, to make content, to give advice to people, and to use it in my everyday life to help me, to help me feel balanced and feel guided. And there are days where I'm not in the place to meditate. I don't feel that I need to meditate every day. If I miss a day, I'm okay, but I can incorporate mindfulness things into my day, which then bring me a meditative feeling and a meditative practice just by incorporating those external aspects. I have made I've made a couple of videos recently, which I'll link below, which are to do with mindfulness and mental health and the different techniques and things we can do in each and every day to incorporate that into our lives, to instill that sense of peace that we're all looking for, really. We're all looking for that sense of peace, and we're all looking for a level of happiness. And they don't call it inner peace for no reason. The inner peace is not out there. The inner peace is in there. So we always need to look inwards. We need to look to ourselves. We need to look to our emotions, our mind, what we're feeling. And I'll probably do some more videos about like the emotions, the emotion body, the feelings of the body, and how we can work on that as well. But today I just wanted to talk about how we can instill that inner peace into each and every day. So I hope some of these tips have helped you. Do let me know on your practices as well that you use at home. Comment below in the comment section, let us know. There may be some advice that you can give in the comments as well that other people will be aware of. Obviously I can't cover everything in these videos because I like to keep these videos as concise and informative as possible, and to try and bring 20 minutes of information of what I can share. So this is something I could talk about for hours, but yeah, I hope some of these tips and these techniques have helped, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Do subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed this content. Do give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video and if you found it informative, and I'll see you in the next video. Much love, take care, bye for now.